welcome to our second E3 2011 special. In this particular episode, we're going to be talking about Electronic Arts and Ubisoft's press conferences. What have they shown off this year? Did they improve over last year? And how epic were the things that they in fact did show? Okay, so let's get right into it. First talking about Electronic Arts. Now, I got to give them some serious credit because the first thing they showed off was actually interesting. They started showing off everything from BioWare, so you saw Mass Effect, you saw Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic, and I gotta say that I really dug Mass Effect 3. It apparently is running on the same engine as Mass Effect 2, so it looks great, and it looks like it's a lot of fun to play. They had an extended trailer on their website as well. Either way, a great way to start off. As far as the Old Republic is concerned, I got excited, but when I realized they weren't actually showing any gameplay, I was a little disheartened. It's nice to know that BioWare is still working on awesome games, and they're still showing them off, but the cold hard fact is they just weren't showing enough. EA also showed off a new Need for Speed game called The Run, which I thought was kind of interesting, except for the fact that you occasionally got out of the car and there was like a quick time event. I'm not 100% sold on that. I mean, I'm not sure what the thought process behind that was. It's like, hey, let's have your car blow up, and now you gotta run. But it's kind of like Dragon Slayer. Hit this button, hit this button. Like, what? I have no idea why this is in a Need for Speed game. It didn't make really a lot of sense. Especially since Hot Pursuit released last year was so great, it seems interesting to shake up the formula, and I'm not necessarily sure if they're doing this in a positive manner. And then they spent about 30 to 40 minutes talking about EA Sports. Yeah. Between FIFA, Madden, mostly FIFA actually, and honestly, considering there wasn't really a lot of new stuff outside of that they were boasting new Kinect features, nobody cares, okay? I mean, everybody who loves FIFA is going to buy the game. Madden's an instant seller anyway. It's Madden. There's really not a lot of new features to speak of, so I'm just going to cut this where EA should have cut it, and that is to say, EA Sports, yeah, they announced some new sports. Done. Anyway, more specifically, though, they also announced Battlefield 3. And I know everybody has been watching some of the trailers on various websites prior to E3. They finally showed off a multiplayer trailer as well as a level from the single-player campaign. This game not only looks great, it looks like it's going to play great too. It just plain straight up was awesome. This is like a game that I think everybody out there should pre-order. I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but wow, Battlefield 3 looks amazing. I can't wait to get some hands-on time with it. And now let's move on to Ubisoft. Interestingly enough, they seem to have had the best press conference so far, which is a scary thought. Showing off Ghost Recon Future Soldier, showing off a new Rayman game, actually in 2D. This looks like it's going to be pretty solid. Showing off a new Assassin's Creed Revelations, and showing off I mean, geez, just quite a few games that you didn't expect to come back. I liked how they were going a little bit old school with some of the intro, but I think that the jokes got pretty corny and out of hand. It's nothing to say about the games, that's just to say their presentation was a little lackluster. But the games they showed off were pretty good. The only ones that I'm, of course, unsurprisingly not impressed with: Your Shape, nobody cares; Just Dance, nobody cares; and finally, I would care about Raving Rabbids, except it's a Kinect game where you slap bunnies around. I mean, really? Is that the best they could come up with? Hey, it's augmented reality, kinda, sorta, buy a PlayStation Eye. I mean, get real with this one, seriously. But in general, I found their press conference to be pretty good, and the games they showed off were pretty solid. EA and Ubisoft, you've impressed me this year. Congratulations. Keep up the good work, and hopefully in 2012, we'll be showing off even better games. And the only suggestion I would have is Ubisoft, cut the Kinect crap. EA, don't say we're not going to have celebrity endorsements and then have a bunch of celebrity endorsements, as well as focusing heavily on your sports franchises. I understand that you sell a lot of your sports franchises, you want to show off the new features, but considering there were none to speak of, it should have been like 5 minutes. New FIFA, new Madden, new PGA Tour, done. That's all you should have done. But, in either case, I hope everybody's had a good time this E3, and I'll see you next time for the Sony press conference. Hey Benrique, you still looking at that news article?
I gotta, or else I won't know what to do when Knolls of Power comes out.
Oh Benrique, when will you stop wasting your time with those danged expansions? There's gotta be about 8 by now.
If only you knew them like I do. Expansions, adding new adventures of all kinds. Expansions.
This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world.